What is going on, SoFi fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. Plain and simple, it's really sucked lately to be a SoFi investor. We've been hit with a trifecta. So today we've been hit left, right, and center. I want to break it down for you. What is and is not important, especially more so with the recent news has been coming out, and potentially, given all the circumstances, where SoFi could be going in the short term. So I'm going to be going over all that fun stuff. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. It is always greatly appreciated. And with that, let's get right to it. So to start off the trifecta, the fun times for us as investors, Biden. So Biden is now extending the student loan. I know there's some people out there saying that it's not that big of a deal, that we've already grown past being reliant on student loans. But at the end of the day, every single quarter, it works out to be between $30 to $50 million of revenue. So yes, there's some individuals out there that maybe are just a little bit more sour, saying that we don't need it. But in the grand scheme of things, we do. We very, very much do. And I know technically extending it 6 months isn't that big of a deal. So roughly around 75 million of potential revenue is what we're going to be missing out on. But especially more so in the short term when every dollar counts. Every move that SoFi does do has repercussions. And what I mean by that is right now, obviously, I'm sure you guys are aware, we pay a fairly high APY to incentivize customers to come over. Keep in mind though, as I've said in previous videos, the whole banking sector is making a ton of money in a higher interest rate environment. Not so much in SoFi's case because we're paying so much money to kind of incentivize customers to come over that we're not getting and capitalizing on the environment that we're in. So as I've said in the past, we could and will explode as far as our price action once we do rotate away from collecting customers to now collecting and focusing on revenue. So this 30 to 50 million in the student loans per quarter is very much needed. So again, there's some individuals that might disagree. Let me know in the comments below if you are one of the individuals that potentially does disagree with that viewpoint. But again, moving on from the trifecta, we did get hit with this yesterday. So US lawmakers call on bank regulators to review SoFi's crypto moves. And so I already did technically do a video on this exact same thing. And in the grand scheme of things, I don't think this is going to develop into much. This is a little bit more FUD, plain and simple. SoFi has already come out publicly, said that they are in line with all the regulations and that they're following the law, plain and simple. There's a ton of articles that basically do validate that. So in my opinion though, I think this is a great buying opportunity based on this, because as I did do a video on this exact same thing about the whole regulators now looking at SoFi, the crypto situation, in reality it's just largely brought on because of the FTX situation. They don't want to they want to make sure basically all the eggs are in a row, and they don't want anyone to be doing anything they shouldn't be doing. So this is the only reason why they're looking at SoFi. So given this circumstance, this is a very good buying opportunity if it did go down because of this. Like I said, we're kind of getting hit with a trifecta as of right now. Most people are only bringing up these 2 points. So about the SoFi and crypto aspect and also the student loans. People are very fast to forget where we are. So based on the recent shareholder meeting, there were several different things that was voted on and approved. And so I want to quickly go over here and break this down for you. So even looking at this, it has sucked. We went from one extreme to the other, plain and simple. So I'm going to do quickly some technical analysis and just kind of rotate into my third point about this. So on the actual chart, I have the 5100 200-day moving averages, Bollinger Bands, RSI, stochastic momentum. Momentum, as you can tell, number of retail investors are up today, so that's always a positive sign. Stochastic, we are very oversold at 17, but we do have that deviation, so red line above the black, showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. RSI is currently 38, so fairly neutral. And on the actual chart, like I said, we went from one extreme to the other, and you can even match that on the stochastic as well. Stochastic was currently at around 86, give or take, so fairly overbought, if you want to call it that. So we went from very overbought to very much oversold. So both extremes, like I said. But what I want to get across from you, so as you can see right here, yesterday we did close out more so, and when I'm talking the 21st, we did close at $4.87. Even more so today, which is the 22nd. Obviously, this video is going to be coming out on the 23rd, but we did close at $4.64, largely because of this new news. But once again, that is 2 days that we are below $5. Like I've said, and I think a lot of people have seemed to really forget about the whole reverse stock split. Keep in mind, in order for us to be considered a penny stock, we have to be below $5 for 10 consecutive days. If that does happen, then we will be considered a penny stock, and unfortunately, a lot of institutions that do own SoFi will be forced to sell, depending on if they have us on margin or in certain accounts. That is just very much not needed stuff at this stage in the game. So this is why they did propose, and it did get approved in the shareholder meeting about doing a reverse stock split. So keep in mind, if we do, for instance, around the 8th day, so around 6 days from now, give or take, if we are still below the $5 mark, then most likely they are going to enact a reverse stock split. And historically, might not necessarily happen with SoFi in this particular case, but historically though, stocks that do a reverse stock split usually trend down around 15%, give or take, at that stage. So again, I'm just listing the facts. We're getting hit with the trifecta as of right now. So like I said, it is a very fun time to be an investor. And SoFi has even done a very big thing, even more so just what is a stock split? How does it affect investors and various other things? So definitely a very good read. So pop over to their website and take a look at that. But generally speaking, based on the earnings, I think this is one of the more disappointing things about SoFi. We've had absolutely amazing earnings. So it's really hard, especially more so from a creator standpoint, to say, you know what, SoFi is an amazing buying opportunity because of all the stats. Even in my case, I'm a very analytical thinker, so I love stats, plain and simple. So it's very hard to see the fact that we have amazing earnings, but yet fundamentally everything is just breaking down, and it really does suck, because I know we do have a very good diamond in the rough. We just need to practice patience, and maybe 2022 might not be SoFi's year, but possibly 2023. That's just how I see things, especially more so based on the analysts on how they've been rating us and giving us revenue increases for our estimates. So definitely, I've already touched on a video. I'm going to do an update video on that as well, because there's some pretty big advancements in that regard. But regardless, let me know your thoughts on SoFi in the comments below. And if you've been buying, selling, holding, whatever it might be, give yourself a shout out. In my particular case, I did buy, I think it's 200 additional shares at $5.10. I know not that big of an increase, but again, I got my average down a little bit. So I'm pretty happy with where SoFi is at this price level. So if you're like me and you see us below the $5 mark, I know it does suck and it just adds to the trifecta, but it does make me a little bit more happy because I could potentially buy so much cheaper, and I know what SoFi is going to be doing in the long term, and it just makes me happy, plain and simple. But whatever, I'm weird, who knows? Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel, want to support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on SoFi.